All right. Good morning, Unity friends. Good morning. I'd like to offer thoughts today on the subject of faith. It's always about faith anyway, I believe, because so many of us want to have faith. It comes and goes, realistically. I don't know of anyone who has ever said, I am always faithful, or I'm always able to count on my faith to carry me through. I don't know if that is true for every person. But today we can have it. In this moment we can have it. As a decision, the decision to have faith. And along with these thoughts about faith, I want to bring up a couple of books that I have used in my own past. One is by the Buddhist mystic Thich Nhat Hanh. A simple title. It's called Anger. Anger. And the other one is the Isaiah Effect. And the Isaiah Effect talks about the idea of having the faith that carries us through when we pray, and that faith using emotion, that is, not only having faith but feeling the emotions associated with what we want in that moment of prayer. So the idea of managing anger, I'll go back to that. Thich Nhat Hanh gives us a very simple principle, which is that when we feel anger, a great way of overcoming it is to have compassion and to realize that we have elements of anger in us that are identical to some of the provocations we feel from other people. We have those same things going on. If we can have compassion for the people with whom we are angry, to whom we direct our own anger, that compassion can help to neutralize the anger. So carrying some information from those two books, I don't have a title. I was not able to come up with a title or a key phrase for this talk because it deals with the illness around us. And I promise that I'll have some alternative thoughts for this. But the thoughts I'm feeling are that the planet is ill. Our society is ill. Not without cures, but at this time it's very easy to see the illness. So what do we do? What can we do about the illness? We have the idea of cures all over the place. I'm an avid fan of the social media, and there are plenty of people who are offering blender drinks, herbal treatments, and all kinds of things we can ingest all kinds of things to cure this and to cure that. And it may or may not be appropriate for people to follow these recipes, but what will always be appropriate is to modify, augment our feelings about what is going on. So what are we going to do about these illnesses? It's undeniable that they have to be treated, otherwise they're going to fester as any other collection of unwanted thoughts, emotions, feelings. My own dominant path happens to be in the field of yoga, which is simply a restatement of Eastern thought about Western thought. And so all of the concepts of yoga, you translate them and you will have things like will manifesting through the body. We will have things like faith. We will have things like hope and generosity. All these things exist all across the spectrum of the thought processes. Everybody can have these things in their appropriate or inappropriate belief systems. So, one dominant thought we can allow to happen is to accept the vast differences among us as opportunities to feel acceptance of others and to allow us to feel acceptance to others, to feel acceptable by others as well. So acceptance and being acceptable. And sometimes that gets in the way. So many of us are wounded. We have a lot of walking wounded in our society, and that should be an opportunity for some introspection. So that when we want to feel acceptance of others and to be acceptable to others, these ideas have to repeat themselves like a cycle. There's a big, wide, open cycle of thoughts that repeats itself. It's easy to to dwell upon divisions, lines of demarcation, borders, political obstacles. All those separations are real, but they do not have to be permanent. They don't have to be impossible passing points. We can choose a long way around these obstacles. These places are also opportunities to see new ways to communicate. In effect, new ways to recognize the common goals we have as humans. So, what are these common goals? They bear restating frequently. Happiness, self-sacrifice leading to happiness. How much sacrifice? How soon? What do we expect? What do we want for our actions surrounding happiness, self-sacrifice? How much will be enough? How will we measure quantity? How do we gauge the effectiveness of self-sacrifice, of faith, of hope and generosity? How much faith do we need? How would we quantify that? That's one of the joyous and amazing mysteries in our lives. How much faith do you need? Where does the energy of faith come from? Is there an energy to faith? Where does the energy of faith go? We take some, you stir a little bit of faith into your coffee this morning. Well, where did you get it? And where is it going to go after this? You don't have to go into details about where it goes, okay? Well, I'd like to offer a guided meditation at this time, because this is the way we can solidify each of our belief systems. And the guided meditation is simply the use of your will to construct a little movie. That's what the guided meditation can be. It's like a movie. And we've all used these things many times. And it's a powerful tool. I've used it in so many ways. So to describe the technique, what we do is we put together the thoughts of what we want. And that is the most important idea, is to know what we want. As a matter of fact, in all of the systems of divination, if you use any of those things, and I mean not to wish and to make ourselves vulnerable, hoping and wishing for things, but rather to use your divine will, your divinely given will to draw from the cosmic to make something happen. So where do we get this? This image is going to come from your will. So you will want to know what it is that you want. What do we wish to have manifest in society? What do we wish to use this divine power for? So you'll decide what you would like. Mine is a constantly repeating wish for world peace. And I know that if I want that, I have to first feel it myself. It has to be so real, so palpable, that nothing will get in the way of my realizing this world peace for myself. And in that way, I'll be able to manifest it, to radiate it, to live it, and to exemplify it in some small way. One soul personality are you. We have 7 great people on the screen this morning, and 7 great wills, 7 great bundles of peace and love and harmony and kindliness and health, and all of us fully capable of embodying this world peace. Another thing you might want to put together will be hopes and your will for greater health. For greater health. Another thing you might be visualizing for in this exercise might be opportunities to serve. That's a dandy thing to wish for, or to visualize for yourself, opportunities to serve. So what I'm going to do is bring us to a level of peace inside. Now, if you would like to, you may take the image off the screen. You may put yourself into a place internally, or you can keep your screen on with your own image on. And first thing is to sit up straight. And if you're not already, or if you don't wish to participate with your posture, you don't have to. But with a straight spine, the energy, the vertical energy, the kundalini, we say in the yoga practice, this energy through the spine is going to be freer to move up and down and back again. So we're feeling the peace of this moment with a straight spine. The feet are flat on the floor. You may place your hands in your lap if you like. And now the breathing becomes very easy, very steady. The breathing slows down somewhat. And we're feeling that the breath is releasing stress. And we are feeling more calm. And we're feeling closer to the divine, closer to the ideals of our faith. And in the mind, let us visualize a pure, clean screen, a screen light in color. Any color will be fine. So this light-colored screen in your mind is the place where we will build the thoughts we wish to construct this morning. So you put together the thoughts of your desires in this moment. You're visualizing what you wish to have. And you start to see and feel a finished picture of what you wish, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. What do you wish from this image? You can see the people, or you can feel the conditions. I'll be silent for about a minute, and then I'll come back in with my voice. And so we have this picture of a strong desire. And let us feel the emotions associated with this successful construction. You feel the gratification, knowing that in your mind you can invite these positive conditions that will bring back into your life this successful image. Yes, you feel the glow of happiness, the glow of satisfaction, feeling that these thoughts, these pictures are accessible to you. They're accessible to you. So when you're experiencing this picture, this successful picture, you're going to take a deep breath, holding this glow, holding these powerful emotions, and with your next exhalation, you're going to exude and release this picture into the cosmos. You're going to let it go, knowing that it will be successful. I'll give us another minute of silence approximately, where you make this happen. Using your will, your imagination, and your faith, make it happen. Okay. At this time, we will bring the mind back, having released this beautiful image of what you wish to have, knowing that faith is exactly what we think it is. We have 7 ideas about faith. We have 7 different goals, possibly. But we know in our hearts that this faith is real. And with this system, I promise there will be improvements. Are you going to get exactly what you want? I don't know. But I have used this very powerful tool of visualization for many different aspects of my life, and I know that it can work. So everybody back again. Do you want to move your head and your neck a little bit? Do you want to stretch through your hands and arms? Do you want to feel that your body, mind, spirit are connected again? Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, friends. I adore the opportunities to share these things. So, I'd like to play a welcome back improvisation. This time I have my guitar ready, and this is a Herman Vasquez Rubio guitar. It was made by a gentleman who came from Michoacan, Mexico. And when the chance to buy one of his guitars came up, I jumped on it. I didn't jump on the guitar, I promise. But I brought myself to bear the willing burden of getting this guitar because it's in my mother's heritage. And so let's see how we sound today. Is that audible by everyone? Well, welcome back. Welcome back. I deeply appreciate being able to do this for you. As with others of you who play an instrument, what one person can do, another person can do. And if you ask me to play this improvisation the same way again, I won't be able to do it. One of my hobbies is to be able to release through the instrument and just have the inner thoughts come through my fingers or come through my breath. And this is the way that I can express a prayer through sound. So anyone can do this. You can do it with one finger at the piano. You can do it with one breath across an empty bottle. And it will be you, and as significantly you as any wind instrument or any other person in the world. So this concludes my thoughts about the music. Going back to this idea of faith, let's remember, this will be the conclusion of my presentation today. But the idea of faith is a very individual thing for every person. You can use it in a way that will manifest for you the goals that you want. I've used this in my career in music. I've used it in my goals in teaching. And even in the military, I was able to, I don't think I would have finished jump master school if it weren't for visualization. A huge amount of material to memorize in 2 weeks' time. I could not have done that without manifesting through my will and my imagination. The visualization, a powerful tool. So I invite you to use this. To recapitulate, good sitting position with good posture, relaxing with your breath. Put together the thoughts of what you want. Clearly, you put together the thoughts on a light-colored screen in your mind. You bring in the details gradually, the people, the places, the things you want, and you make that a strong, strong image. And at the height of that image, you inhale deeply, and then you release it forward into the cosmos. You release it knowing that it will manifest. And then you release, and you come back into your own world, back where you were before. And if you repeat this a few times with consistency, you will get it. You'll have at the very least, you will have a manifestation of the process that becomes stronger the more you use it. So at this time, I will release this talk, this presentation, this music, and I return back to you, Brother Neil.